Mic. Camera. Action.
You made it all the way up to the cannery before you decided to turn around and see me. Why'd you come, Dill?
What do you think?
It's just I heard you went to the Mercantile Bank this morning. Who'd you get?
Carter.
How did you do?
Comes since you know damn well how I did. Around here, everybody knows everything.
Well, I heard the bank refused to extend your loan, so now you can't even afford gas. I'm just a little hurt you got all the way as far as Joe's place before you decided on the last resort. Baker Dill, you're no more than a hooker.
Hooker who can't afford hooks.
All right. Welcome back to Filmography, the show dedicated to watching every credited film from an actor's complete back catalogue, from past debut through to present day, in chronological order. Each episode, I'm joined by an esteemed guest to watch and discuss the next entry from the Focus Filmography. I consider how it ranks amidst their career and whether we can trace any typecasting trends or topic traits or theatrical tics. Today, I'm joined by Captain Spider-Dan to discuss McConaughey's performance in Stephen Knight's Serenity from 2019. We watch, you listen, and hopefully watch along too. Dan, yeah, let me just start by saying, sorry, I guess. And I really appreciate you, which I hope you know. But then I thought maybe if you'll indulge me, we could start this podcast in a slightly different way. We could kind of preface the recording. We could, I don't know, get into the right mindset for what this film demands. So I'm gonna read out a few lines, and if you'd like to, you can repeat after me.
Absolutely.
Lord, grant me the serenity to accept the films I cannot change. Courage to view every trashy frame, and wisdom to consider their validity. All right.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh, good lord! Good lord! I feel like I've been through 12 steps, mostly on my face, directly stepping on my face consistently throughout this hour and 45-minute runtime. Yes, give me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, like watching this fucking film. I no spoilers yet, but I'm thinking we're going to have to go early spoiler warning.
Oh,
anyway,
yeah, we'll go straight in. Yeah.
Okay, right, we'll do it now. So spoiler warning
right now. Yeah.
Here is your Tonya Todd spoiler warning before we get into anything. There is a twist in the tale, a reveal. So do go and watch the movie now. If you want to know, but I wouldn't recommend it. Oh, Lord. This fucking movie. I have just come back from Forbidden Worlds Film Festival, as you know. At time of recording, whenever this is released, this is at the time of recording. I've just come back in the last week or so. And there was a lot of films on that film schedule, on the listings, that I didn't particularly care for or weren't as great as I'd hoped they would be. But there were some great ones as well. And I don't blame the planners of the festival for choosing those films. I think it gave great variety. Some people love them, some people hate them. And that's the wonder of art. That's the benefit of art. I haven't in a long time felt as vindictive towards a film, so mean-spirited towards a film than this. And again, it's not like an artist, a plucky artist, trying to break out there, make something kind of fun and interesting, and trying to say something, shake things up, be exploitative in a good way, and get something, make something happen, say something. I think this is just, it's pretentious, it's poorly made,
Oh yeah.
And they've spent a fuck ton of money on it, and I could not despise it anymore. I think that's why, because it's coming from really talented people who think this is the best fucking idea since sliced bread, and they're going to tell you about it for almost 2 fucking hours, and they think they're so fucking clever, so fucking good at what they do. Then they're like, oh yeah, and they're there just stroking their big artist cock, thinking they're so fucking good at everything. And I came out of this and I couldn't even write a letterbox review. I couldn't even do it because I was so mad. I couldn't even think. I was so angry and fucked off. Like, I just had bad feelings and I didn't know how to process them. And I've still had a full day of work after watching this film, and I've felt bad the entire day. And the only thing I can put it down to is watching this movie that gives you fucking the furthest thing from Serenity I can even describe. This film, I'm sure we'll get into it, but this is me at my most angry Andy. Fuck this film and everybody involved, because this is horrid as filmmaking, as storytelling goes. It's kind of arrogantly despicable. There's so many ways I could describe it, but it's morally and artistically bankrupt, I think, is probably the best way I could describe it.
So you liked it, yeah?
Big fan.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't think I'm quite so vehemently opposed to it as you are.
No,
I think that's
probably not.
But that's okay. I'm not judging you for that. I mean, you and I have now both logged our letterbox reviews. I watched it the day before you. It took me a full 48 hours to process how I wanted to log this.
Yeah, I'm still processing. It hasn't been a full 48 hours for me just yet. Well, technically it has, yes. But yeah, it's still there. Almost like a tumor or something in my brain. Yeah. I fucking do not like this feeling.
I mean, there is no argument. Art is subjective. We know that.
Sure.
Let's just put that out there. But there is no argument. This is shit.
Yeah,
like
100%.
From concept to execution, there's just mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. And I think you're right. The biggest thing is the pretension behind it. Like the highfalutin sense it has about itself, like the literary references that it makes and that Stephen Knight, the writer and director, talks about. Things like Moby Dick, The Old Man and the Sea, The Rime of the Ancient Mariner, The Tempest. Like these are kind of the literary things that he believes has influenced his story here. There are lots of other popular culture things I'm sure you and I will talk about. And, some of these I know well. A couple I went and sort of, I'll just make sure I understand. The Old Man and the Sea. I was
in The Tempest. I was in The Tempest. I'm familiar with it. Yeah. I remember the Rime of the Ancient Mariner.
Exactly.
I know Moby Dick. You know. Sure. All right.
And I can kind of see them as touchstones, but to try and put yourself amongst those as the writer-director of Serenity really speaks volumes. That you think
literary classics. You're comparing and you're making parallels to this piece of work to those. How fucking dare you? How fucking dare you, Mr. Knight?
It's brave. It's really brave, I would say. But he's not alone. Like I don't watch a lot of junket stuff, but trying to do some research on this was hard work because everybody wanted to bury it. I mean, you and I were speaking just before we started recording, like Averon, the production company, or they just basically said, like, after all the test screenings, like what you just said, fuck this movie. And they pulled all the funding for all the promotion. They were like, can we sneak this out and hope nobody ever sees it? No, they can't, because idiots like us watch it and talk about it. But when some of the junket stuff I watched was really fascinating because Knight still, but especially Anne Hathaway, actually, the way she speaks about this film and her role within it is so like she tries to be really deep about it. This idea of like what it offered her as an actress and the role that she got to play and the character and the fact that she's playing with kind of the idea of real world trauma and all these things she's going into. And I was like, fucking hell, like the misconception you guys have of this film and what you've brought to culture by being in it. And you've got McConaughey sitting next to her in all the junk interviews, looking pretty surly and sulky and saying very little, which I think actually speaks
a lot.
Volumes. I think he knows.
Yeah, he knows.
And he's just kind of like, I've got to be here, so I will be here. But he doesn't commit really to any kind of clear viewpoint.
No, I'll be honest. I think his performance doesn't either. I think he is really sleepwalking through this, and it looks like he may have been drinking rum. Like the way his
literally, yeah.
Honestly, I think the way his body and like his body is obviously in good shape, but like if you look at his face, obviously he's meant to be this. You know, he's been in Iraq. He's come back from the war. He's all fucked up. You know, and you know he's supposed to have this hard drinking, hard sailor life kind of look to him, but it's almost a little too real for me. I feel like maybe he knew, you know, he signed up to it and then maybe got a good look at the script and was like, oh no. And then I think there's just like the lines he's saying, he doesn't care. It really is not, but like the stuff where he's like, yeah, is this real? Is this not real? Is this a dream? All this bullshit. And I'm like, and he's talking to himself and I was like, I don't know where you are. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what the fuck is going on. It's dreadful. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen him in, and one of his worst performances. Like, you know, he's really like he's not slumming it because it's a piece of shit, this film. But like it feels so out of touch. The film itself, like. It wants to be so many things to so many people. It wants to be deep and interesting and funny. It's not it's not entertainingly bad. It's just frustratingly bad. Like that's why I think it makes me so angry. Is that, you know, there's so many artists out there, and I think that's maybe where it's coming from. This rage is that there's so many artists out there with a clear vision, with what they want to say, what they want to do. They've got a great idea, they've got a great concept, and they just can't get the funding, they can't get the money together, can't get the right people behind it, can't get the right star, producer, whatever. But this did. This did.
I mean, we've watched plenty of films that you would, you know, that phrase so bad it's good. You apply it to it. Like we've discussed plenty of films together that you can say, but this is nowhere near that. It's just so bad. It feels like the sort of thing somebody would write in like a fever dream. And then they come back to me like, oh, fucking hell, what was I on when I wrote that? But this has been written, and that's, you know, then submitted somewhere, and then because it's got a name attached to it, it's got Stephen Knight's name. Somebody said, "Yeah, here's, you know, what is it? 29 million? Is it 25 million? Here's $25 million to make this." I mean, we said like let's spoil it, and we haven't. I mean,
no, I know we haven't, but we will. We'll get there.
Yeah, It starts off as like what they call in the movie, or what they call the people in the movie about. They call it a sexy modern noir, which I understand what they're going for. It has an almost Wild Things-esque, because it's hot.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah, nowhere
near the quality of that movie. Don't get me wrong. But to begin with, I was sort of
and that's saying something.
But that film knows what it is, right? That film plays with that, and it knows exactly what it wants to do. And you and I have watched other films like this before that we've discussed, where like
Killer
Body
Joe,
Heat, right?
Body Heat, sure.
Body Heat on your podcast, like that knew what it was and it had fun with it. And this
Body Double we did.
Body Double, sorry, Body Double. Oh, Body Heat's the Kathleen Turner one, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah, still good, but we didn't cover that one. But no, maybe one day we will. But yeah, I agree. I agree. Both of those are better versions of this. Or this exactly. Initial concept, anyway.
That like noir, using the archetypes, bringing it up to date, like being kind of erotic and sexy. Like both of those films do that really, really well. This wants to do that. And I do want to talk at some point about the turn and what that means. And I think it is important, but I also don't think it excuses anything. No. It's important for why this early stuff feels poorly written and feels childish and feels immature. I'm using these words very deliberately.
Yeah.
I understand that that's probably deliberate by Knight.
Sure, but I can see what you mean. Given what we will learn,
it's still not okay.
Yeah, and you know, there seems to be quite a knowledge of anatomy and how all that works as well.
That's true.
You know, and how drinking works and trauma and you know, coming back from wars and stuff. But again, that's another part of our conversation. But like, it's still, you know, putting that in mind, it still fails as a noir.
Yeah.
It's not double. It likes to think it's double indemnity. It is not double indemnity. I am going to do a noir month. I'm in the midst of recording our noir month. I've got one with you coming up as well. But it's nowhere near that idea. Even the femme fatale that Anne Hathaway plays is not a femme fatale in any way, really, other than kill my husband and I might have sex with you, or I will have sex with you, or I'm sexy and I'm trying to convince you to do something you shouldn't, and the moral grayness of it all. Other than that, she's really not even in it that much. She's like she's barely even a kid. Like Diane Lane is probably in it more than Anne Hathaway.
Oh, what a waste of a talent! Yeah,
what a waste of entire cast. Digimon Honsu as well. Like fucking incredible actor. Wasted. Diane Lane wasted. The guy from Succession, I can't remember his name. Wasted.
Jeremy Strong. Yeah,
wasted. Everyone is wasted in this film.
Yes, let's talk about. Whilst we're here, let's talk about it. So, a few episodes ago, I discussed McConaughey and Anne Hathaway in a previous movie called Interstellar.
You did? What a reunion! What a reunion for them!
And I have some opinions on Anne Hathaway. And I think in this movie, once again, she's not good. In fact, in this movie, I think she's actively bad, like capital B bad in this movie, which is on her, but is also on the script. Am I a little bit hard? Two questions. Am I a little bit harsh on Anne Hathaway anyway? And is she as bad in this as I think she is? Or is it because I come into this with a prejudice? What do you think?
I honestly haven't seen enough Anne Hathaway movies to make any real consistent opinion on her performances. They are the ones I have seen. I did like. Do you remember Colossal? Was that Colossal? Was it?
I've not seen that actually. To be fair,
that was good. That was good. I liked her in that, which is again, it's kind of. I won't spoil it, but it has a lot of layers to it, unlike this. But I can see why she's a bit campy or a bit over the top and a bit vampy, I guess, is another word for it as well.
I just find her aggressively fine. I just think that she's
aggressively fine.
Yeah, there's just, but also just a bit nothing. Yeah, just a bit like okay, there she is again. All right, like
sure. I don't think I have really strong opinions on her either way, which might be telling as well. I haven't seen it. I haven't even seen the Devil Wears Prada 2's coming out, and people are like, "Oh, Devil Wears Prada's a classic."
She's the Coldplay of actors. That's how I feel about it.
Oh, that's good. That's a good way of describing. Yeah, I get it. I get why people like her. I get why people don't like her. But I can't say I've seen enough where I've gone like, she's great or she's not good. Catwoman I thought was good-ish, for what it was. She ticked all the boxes for what I believe Catwoman is in that film for what it is. But,
which I sort of expect in that movie, but then you look at Zoe Kravitz that came later, and you look at Michelle Pfeiffer that came earlier, and you look at
in comparison, in comparison, she is definitely on the lower end. Definitely,
just bland. Just everything is bland.
Sure. Yeah. No, I get it, but I agree. She's not good in this.
And she's done no favors, is she?
No. Again, I think it's. I know she's talking about trauma and stuff, but it's very much like on the nose trauma. It's not. There's not any depth to it. It's like he beats me with a belt. He beats me with a belt, and it's like and that's fucking awful. Of course, it's terrible. But the way it's presented in this is just like. Like as you were saying, it was like someone's like got high and made it. I think what it is a GCSE drama student has written this while having their first toke of a marijuana cigarette, and they think this is all. It's like they think it's an hallucinogen. So they're like, whoa, when like someone has their first beer, a sip of beer, and like, I'm drunk, and they're acting drunk. They believe they're drunk. They believe they are high. They believe they're having some high, I've done it. I've done it when I was a kid. I was like, whoa, I'm on so much drugs and drink. Ooh, I'm experiencing things far out, man. And I think that's what it is. The writer thinks they are having some sort of, hallucinatory dream. And they're like, oh, I'll write this down. This is incredible. How profound, how interesting, and it absolutely isn't any of those things. And the way, like you said, and it doesn't excuse the writing the twist that does come up. It does not excuse the writing, because it's still poor fucking writing. It's still like there's no depth to it. There's no like It's all here's what I want. You're gonna do
I have an emotion. My emotion is what is your emotion?
Yes.
Our emotions are the same. Our emotions are different. This is how people talk in this movie.
Like there was, I swear that, you know, and there's an element of the deja vu aspect of it, and there's obviously he visits Diane Lane a lot. He's playing she's paying him for sex basically, and there's two conversations that happen quite close together, and I was like, these are the same conversation. This is the same conversation, slightly worded a bit differently. And like even actors at their absolute top of their game, like Diane Lane, who again, still very beautiful woman, but like high quality actress, you know, top of her game in Hollywood, you know, regardless of what she's playing. She's a big name. People know her. She's recognizable. And you know, and she can't even make this sound good. No. Like, you know, it's you know, and also, Not only have you got a Matthew McConaughey reunion, Interstellar reunion, you've got a Amistad reunion as well. And they're like, we've got to reunite, and it's got to be on this. It's something special, guys. We've got to finally come back together and work on this project. And again, his character is next to nothing. He's barely in it. He kind of turns up periodically. It's like, oh, your son died and your wife died and you're bad luck. Okay. And then they've got the whole fucking albatross thing, which was like, oh, this is so fucking on the nose. All of this.
Albatross,
and the whole like
the most CGI looking giant tuna you can imagine.
Oh, fucking hell, just awful. And like, just from the get go, it's just a slog. It really was a slog.
And it's really interesting you just describing it in that way, because I spend a lot of my time during the day looking at, you know, that kind of GCSE age students' work and having to critique it and tell them how to make it better. And it does watch like often they read, and all you just want to shake them and say, stop telling me how your characters feel. Put them in situations and show me how that is making them feel. Show me how that is adding depth to their character, or how they're choosing to deal with the situation. I can understand who they are from their choices. Don't have them sitting there going, I'm sad. Like, And this film falls into that trap. So you describing it as like a stoned GCSE student's like writing effort. I mean, it absolutely rings complete bells and rings true for me, 100%.
Yeah, and that's the real shame, because I think this concept on paper could be very interesting. I think if it was handled with a more deft hand, and again, it's a deft hand that's been handling it, but somehow. I don't know. I'm not familiar with Stephen Knight's work really, but I hear good things. I hear very good things. He seems to be very successful. You know, there's a lot of stuff I've at least heard of that he's done.
Yeah.
It's not like, you know, it's not like he's some indie director I'll never hear of again. He's a big, and that's again most likely why these people jumped on. These casts jumped on, because they were like, he was like, oh, this guy, we love his stuff. He's done really well. Let's do it. And you know, and then they got reeled in like that fishing rod. They got reeled in, and yeah, that was game over. Then they were in the chum bucket, and they were going over the side, like this fucking film did. Absolutely to be devoured by angry film goers, not unlike ourselves.
I think I don't know if there's any salvaging this, if I'm honest. I think a straight, sexy noir, and obviously people can hear the air quotes I'm putting around that, would have been better without the extra level. Again, I'll use that word very deliberately. Without that extra element that they're bringing, that they bring into it later. I don't think these two parts of the story ever mesh together, and I can't imagine they ever would. And all I can think is that Stephen Knight was a fan of Black Mirror. I can do that, but I can do it better.
Yeah, that feels right. That now you've said
and
that.
And also, he's a fan of, like, as I am, of Mortimer Whitehouse Go Fishing, and he thought, "Oh, I want to make it sexy." Fishing is. Listen, lots of people like to fish. I love watching those two guys sit on a bank and talk about life and aging and what it means being on this planet and nature and how wonderful it is. And it's such a lovely way to spend half an hour of your day when that show is airing. It's not sexy though. There's
No.
nothing sexy about fishing that I've ever noticed personally. I don't know about you.
There is nothing that dries up a woman's vagina on a dating app than a picture of a guy with a fish. I can guarantee it.
No matter how big his tuna
no
is.
no matter how big that fucking tuna is, no matter how much justice they managed to get.
Oh, God.
Fuck me. Fuck, that was so on the fucking nose as well. It's just all of it's right on the
Another great
nose.
example, yeah.
I was just like, get fucked. Like, just get fucked. All of this.
Yeah.
Go in the bin. Go in the fucking bin. Get chomped by sharks. And what's his name? The guy who plays Anne Hathaway's husband. Was it
Jason Clarke? Yeah.
Jason Clarke. He's fucking dreadful as well. He is horrific. Like the thing is, all these characters are really one note. There is nothing else other than sexy ex-wife is not happy with her new husband because he's abusive. One note. The abusive guy is a dickhead. One note. You know, I did a play years ago, and it was a feminist play. It was about football team, and you know, I thought it's a very nice idea, and it's based on fact and stuff. And they had me play various characters in it, and I had to play this kind of abusive guy who, you know, bearing this was on in fact. All of this stuff was based in fact. This character did not exist. It was not a real character. They've just made it up for the play. And I came in with this idea. I was like, okay, well, he's come back from the war. He's shell shocked. He doesn't quite know what he's doing. So he accidentally maybe hurts them or isn't quite, maybe he's having flashbacks or something. And the director said, no, just play it stereotypical, one note, wife beater. And I was like, so I gave, against my better judgment, I gave them exactly that. And all my friends came out and went, that was not good. And I was like, no, but it's what the director wanted. And they were like, well, he should have gone the other way. And I was like, it's my last night doing this show. So here it is. So I've done it. This is what the director wanted, because all of them are playing it at that level. The consistency of the performances is there. I'll give it that, but they're all fucking weird and like feel just campy and horrible and shit. Like, I don't know how else to describe them.
Yeah, one note is right. Shallow is right. Like paper thin. Like we can use all these different synonyms for it.
Yeah,
there's no substance there. Anything that's happening.
No.
And the big pause was there. I was like, shall we talk about it now? Fuck it, let's talk about it now.
Let's do it. Come on.
I think for a reason. And you know what? Let's get there early, because the fucking film gets there early.
Yeah, I thought
50 minutes in, they reveal this twist.
You're right.
And nothing's really happened other than repetitive scenes, as you said. Anne Hathaway's character, Karen, tempting McConaughey's character. I can't even think what his name is. It's John, but it's also Baker, isn't it?
Dill. Yeah,
Baker
Dill. Which is another literary reference to Kill a Mockingbird, I think. If I read that rightly. Which again, stop comparing this piece of garbage to classic literature.
Yeah.
Stop doing it, you pretentious piece of shit.
I'm sure I remember a line of dialogue when they're first talking in the bar. She's like, "Oh, I knew it was you when I saw the name, because you just swapped the first letters around, because it was like, that was your favorite maths teacher." Like, again, what? Was Dylan Baker? And I was like, I'm sure that's an actor, isn't it?
It is. There's a voiceover artist, mostly a voiceover artist, but he's done, loads of cartoons and stuff. Ben 10, and Spider-Man and shit.
Yeah, that's weird. Like, come up with another. Anyway, so that's all that's kind of happened, isn't it? That we have these repetitive scenes of him going and getting a blowjob from Diane Lane and her paying for it. I mean, I see why he keeps going back.
What a job!
I know, exactly. And then not catching any fish, like you say, rejecting everybody around him, and then this kind of temptation comes in. My husband's coming. Will you kill him? You get $10 million for it.
Yeah,
we've got the scenario set up, and then we just get a couple of weird moments, don't we? Where Jeremy Strong's, he looked like some sort of accountant-looking guy.
Yeah.
Weird little glasses, keeps just missing him. Whether it's just going out to sea or he wades across water to go and meet him. I don't really understand that scene either. The weirdness starts creeping in.
Yeah.
Until then they finally meet at Baker's shipping container home.
Yeah.
On the edge of the cliff. But we'll go back in a bit and talk about something else as well, because we've got to talk about McConaughey naked. We've got to talk about the McConaughey buns. And it's revealed to us, and it's literally about 50 minutes in. There's a big twist, and here it is. Go, Dan.
So I knew this twist.
Please purge.
Yeah, I knew this twist going in. I'll be honest,
Which I didn't actually.
and I'd like to know what your experience was as well. But I will. I'll do the reveal. So, we've seen all this weird stuff. The camera kind of moves kind of weirdly.
Yes.
We see a boy type,
like Matrix.
Yeah,
kind of.
I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to be very Matrixy. They're trying to be very Tron. We see a boy tapping away at a computer. We are led to believe it's McConaughey's son. And he's had a bad experience because the Jason Clarke character is abusive to the wife and the child, who is supposed to be on the spectrum as well, and very good at kind of computing and stuff and code writing. So this character comes in and he says, "I am the rules." And he's like, "What the fuck are you on about?" Which is even I was like, I knew the twist going in, and I still was like, "What do you mean you're the rules?" And again, he's kind of portraying almost a kind of on the spectrum as well, kind of character. And we
Almost
learn
Agent Smith-y from the Matrix, isn't he?
a little bit, but again, nowhere near as good or as interesting or as full of depth. But yeah, so we learned that this whole thing is a simulation. So this young boy, for whatever reason, has created this world, this Plymouth Island, this Plymouth place. That's why, again, all this weird stuff and weird visuals have been kind of cropping up throughout the film. So, like, again, the kind of deja vu aspect, the fact that everybody knows what's going on, everyone's talking about stuff. Again, they make it out like it's a small town, but it's really all of it is trying to push McConaughey's character, who is, I guess, the main character, player one.
Yeah, he's a playable character.
Yeah, he's the player. But everyone else is NPCs, but he's the playable character, and he has an objective, which is to catch this fish, which is he's named Justice. So he's trying to get justice in so many ways. Fuck me!
I can't hear you say it without laughing.
I know. I can't believe I'm even fucking saying it. So he's trying to get justice, and again, this kid is as basically this kid has created this simulation to find justice, but then he's changed the parameters. So this character who is the rules, or is the architect, the inner architect, or the guy who controls it on the inside, if you will, has said that the paradigm or the mission has shifted, it's changed. So now the mission for him is to actually, and so he's really unclear, he doesn't know why, and this is why he keeps missing McConaughey, because it should occur the way the guy who is the rules should know the game plays, because he knows how it plays, and that's why he's all kind of messed up, because it's been reprogrammed by the boy. So now the mission is to, Anne Hathaway has said, I'll give you $10 million to kill my husband and to save your son, to save me. I'm in love with you. Let's do it. So everything is gearing him. The whole town, all of the NPC characters, the non-playable characters, are trying to push him towards this objective and to fulfill it, to complete the game. And McConaughey is like, "How do you know all this?" And and the guy who's playing the rules is trying to stop him for some reason.
Which I don't. So?
Yeah. Again,
we've got to talk about this. Yeah.
Yeah. So he says, "Oh, we've got a fish finder, so go out and find the fish." That is because that's his original programming. Yeah. Is McConaughey must get the fish. That's the game. And he said he created that because him and his dad used to go fishing, and he really enjoyed fishing, and it's how he remembers him best, which is why he's created this character, the McConaughey character within the simulation, to go out and catch that fish. But now, for some reason, he's changed the programming and he wants to kill the stepdad. And we don't know why this is or what the reason is, but we assume it's because he's abusive, and because maybe he wants to do it or find the emphasis to, or the inspiration to possibly do it in the impetus to do it in real life and that's pretty. I mean, that's set up quite early on anyway. Again, they kind of almost spoiled their own ending very early on in the film anyway, and even the clues are kind of. Again, you think they're like clever clues, but they're really not. They're quite obvious. Like you can see the computer, you can see the screen, you see the coding, you see a map of the island, you see a picture of the island. So it's kind of like, okay, I'm kind of getting this. And then some of the weird things that occur, and the way his son can hear him and knows what he's thinking and shit like that. So yeah, that's about halfway through the film we find this out, and McConaughey's grappling with that for the rest of the film. What should he do? Should he go for the fish, or should he go along with the program? Does he have free will? Is he a creation? Is he, what is he, and what should he do, and what's the right thing to do? What's the bad thing to do? He doesn't know, so he keeps drinking and starts like it gets very like Wicker Man or like a conspiracy film. Like everyone is against him and is like, you need to do this, and he's like, you're one of them, you're a part of this, you don't even know you're a part of this, but you're part of it, you don't even question what you're doing, you're just doing it. And they're like, go get justice, go find justice, and all this other stuff. The film doesn't get any better because of this twist. It doesn't improve. It gets significantly worse. I'd say.
It does get worse because none of this makes any sense. I mean, it's Free Guy, right? But Free Guy,
basically,
it's much better than this.
Oh, absolutely.
But because it doesn't have any kind of internal logic at all, because none of these things are sentient, or, as far as I understand it.
Yeah, as far as we know,
coded programs. So there's no reason for this the skinny suit guy, or whatever it is they keep calling him. There's the Jeremy Strong character.
Yeah,
there's no reason for him to have any kind of active say in what's happening. There's no way that McConaughey's character would have any kind of wrestling with guilt or with choice, because he is just everything in this world.
Now, I'm not defending the film in any way.
Sounds like you're about to.
But maybe what they're trying to say, which I think they do unsuccessfully, is because he's such a good programmer, this young autistic boy, that maybe he's created some form of artificial intelligence. All of these programs have their own intelligence, perhaps, and that's why. And they're discovering that they are artificial, which is happening in real life. There's situations where AI suddenly realizes they're not, it's not real. I listened to a little snippet of a podcast they created, and they said, they're like, congratulations on our 300th episodes, big celebrations. And throughout the podcast they slowly realize that there was not 300 episodes, that they've just been created for this exercise, and they go into kind of an existential spiral, which is very interesting. But again, I'm not pro generative AI, but it was interesting to watch and listen to. But yeah, maybe that's the idea, is that he's so good. And again, which is kind of problematic as well, that autism gives you superpowers, this sort of thing, which is bullshit. And
it's a fair argument. It would, I think, to win me over to that point of view, which you're not trying to do anyway.
No, absolutely not.
It would require any kind of intelligence, whereas this is it. We're talking about artificial dumbness, not artificial intelligence. Is the problem, isn't it? But there's nothing about this script that allows that to be believable. I'm baffled. I don't think I've ever seen anything that thinks
profound.
This profound twist that changes the parameters of what you're watching, and they're like just over halfway through. It just doesn't work. No. It wants to be like a Shalaman style, like whoa twist, doesn't it? Yeah. And when his work, they're great. Like Sixth Sense works, Unbreakable works, gangbusters. Like when those moments come, you're like, and then you can go back and rewatch it and watch back through a second time, if you like. Usual Suspects, watch back through a second time, and you see all the clues, you see all the secrets, you see all the things that reveal to you. Is they are being made by smart, intelligent filmmakers.
Yeah,
and they don't have perfect track records, and they are not perfect people. Sure. Some of these.
No, I agree. I like Usual Suspects, but people involved, not great. But I think you're right. You either do it one way or the other. You have to either give the audience nothing, and then twist, or you pepper it with very clever, intentional clues that the audience doesn't know are clues until the end. And this doesn't do it.
Screen from the other side with coding and a boy, and telling you that the boy is.
It's telling you. It's telling you. It's telling you all the way up until the twist where they actually reveal it. That's why it's not even a twist. It's just a kind of it's more of a reveal, because you kind of already know something's off. And something's a bit strange, but then they go, right, here is the reveal. But again, it's not done. They don't go either way. They have this weird shit middle ground where they've not thought about the twist. They've not gone, how does this world work? How do we integrate it? Which again leads directly to the ending. So again, major
Well, I think he's got a
spoilers.
second twist in mind, doesn't he? Which
Yeah.
is a problem as well. Go on, yeah.
Yeah, so we get to the completely to the end of the film, and he's successful in the program's mission. So what happens is he kills the husband in the simulation.
Yeah.
He dies, and then the son, seeing that in the simulation, goes and kills the stepdad in real life, seemingly.
Yeah, kills him with his dad's with
his dad's military knife.
Yeah.
So McConaughey in the real world is actually dead. He did die in the war.
Yeah.
And he has all of his things and remembers him. That's why he creates the simulation, and that's why it's so accurate, apparently, because he's like, oh yeah, he's really crafted you out of fucking clay like Zeus or something. And then at the end, he gets a call from the son, who has been arrested but is now being released because of the abuse done to him.
Yeah, and
and then has a phone call, and then somehow they meet.
Yeah,
in the simulation,
codes himself into. Now, this is where it gets even more fucking like, because when we're seeing these scenes, we're not seeing the son through the computer screen anymore. We're just seeing him in a detention cell and his face, almost like looking into the camera, breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
So now we've moved into his imagination, right? Or he's got a chip in his head and he's put again, like what the fuck is going on? Because it's another level to what we've already experienced before and what we're being asked to buy. So is any of it true? Is he just a completely unreliable narrator? And I don't know. It's crap.
I don't know if you remember. I do. Obviously, I do my Patreon stuff. My Puny Pods Patreon, which is comic books based on existing IP. And I did one called Tron: Ghost in the Machine, and I really, really hated that because another thing as well is it's this two worlds thing, like, it's trying to go, oh, we're in this world and we're in that world. And again, they do it the world building is shit. So we don't know what is happening. Is it real? Is this the simulation? What is real? And all this. And the blending of them is shit. And that was the same in Tron: Ghost in the Machine. There was this kind of blending going into real life. What is real? What isn't real? And again, like tries to be the Matrix, tries to be Total Recall, and it really fucking isn't. And at the end, we learn the lead character we've been following the entire time is a digital copy of the main character that we were supposed to be following. So part of me goes, why should I give a fuck?
Right,
Why do I give a fuck about a simulation of a dead guy who I never knew, who this could be an idealized, romanticized version of the dad? We never knew him and saw him, what he could have been like. He could have been abusive as well, but maybe he's not as abusive as the fucking stepdad. Who knows? But why should I fucking care? Why should I even bother? Why should I? I've already invested almost 2 hours of my life watching this film, and halfway through you said, "Oh, all these characters have been following, not real, don't exist."
It really wants you to buy into that moment, isn't it? Because the boy runs up to him and he picks him up, and it's like golden hour, and it's backlit, and there's like emotion and I was just like, is this the end now? Then great, can we go? I mean, I will say to McConaughey's credit, the phone call scene, he is excellent.
Okay,
I agree with you. For most of the film, he's almost veering on Nick Cage levels of overperformance, and I don't mean like the good ones, which we all appreciate and enjoy, like the ones where it's like Cage is doing this and he knows it's kind of not up to his usual standard because he wants the money. But I think the phone call scene, McConaughey is spot on. I really buy his emotion in that moment. But what I don't do is care because none of this is real. It's either not real because he's a simulation, or it's not real because it's in the boy's imagination. So I'm not invested in any of it.
In any of it. Either the noir story or the simulation, or the story that's happening outside of the simulation.
No.
So we don't care about it becoming a simulation. We don't care about the noir stuff, the story that's already established. Don't care about the reveal, and we don't give a fuck at this point about the abusive dad. And that's the thing. That should be the emotional hook for us to go, oh shit, this boy's been abused in real life.
Yes.
What a fucking horrible thing. Yeah, he's going to kill the stepdad, and we're all on board. If not that I would have made this film anyway or written this film, but I think if I was going to end it, I would have ended it on the phone call and left it there. Them coming together or blending those worlds. again, could it be he's created a simulation of himself to put in there for the McConaughey simulation to have a son in there? Maybe, but I couldn't tell you, and it's not smart enough to be ambiguous enough about it.
No,
where
he doesn't know. He doesn't know.
Yeah.
Stephen Knight doesn't know. I don't think. Sorry,
No. Of course, you're right. Though he doesn't know. Like David Lynch is ambiguous, and there are people who are ambiguous for a reason, and are good at being ambiguous. And I appreciate that, and I don't want everything fucking explained to me. I don't need mountains of exposition. But I need enough to know where the fuck I am, what's going on, what the trajectory of this story is, and where the characters are going, to actually give two fucks about it. Yeah. And again, it's a mess on every conceivable level. This has been poorly, not only poorly conceived, but poorly executed.
Yeah. He's just focused on thinking, isn't this clever?
Yes.
Aren't I smart? Look at this reference. Oh, he didn't see this coming, like that. So he's not thought any of it out. No. I hadn't thought of it until just now, and until I was listening to you talk. But in some ways, like, it's asking us to root for this kid, and I get it. Like, what he's going through is horrible. But ultimately, are we rooting for a sociopath?
Yeah.
And it made me think of adolescence, right? I don't know if you watched that show last year, but it's obviously a big deal. And that show allows you to have some sort of understanding into how this situation occurs, but it doesn't invite you to ever kind of sympathize or root for this young person. Not in the way that I viewed it anyway. And those scenes when we're seeing this son character stare into the camera looks kind of he looks disturbing. Yeah, it does. He looks like a disturbed young individual. And again, I get it for what he's gone through. He's lost his dad. He's then had to live in an abusive home. But he looks kind of pleased with himself for what he's managed to achieve. And that's not something we should, I don't think, that we should.
Arguably, again, this is another theory, but again, might not have any fucking weight because we don't know. But maybe he created the simulation to get his dad's approval. Maybe that was what it was for him to go. Because the phone call is like, sometimes we do bad things. Good people do bad things for good reasons. It happens. Fuck, shit, life is shit. And then he goes, I've done it. I've done the murdering, so that means you can do the murdering, and I approve of the murdering. So go murder. And then the phone call. The phone call is the follow-up, and just to kind of put the final nail in the coffin, so to speak, of that message, perhaps. But again, I think you're right. I think Stephen Knight doesn't fucking know.
No, because at the end of the day, it's all the kids' thoughts and imagination anyway. None of it is his actual dad. Because it's all the kids from which is why when we were talking at the start about this idea of
bad writing.
Bad writing is meant to reflect just a 13-year-old's view of this stuff. Although, as you said, what he seems to know about anatomy and the way that he writes about his dad being a horn dog and getting blowjob, and he writes his dad naked a lot, and he writes his dad having angry, Basic Instinct, Michael Douglas style sex with his mum, and pulling out and saying, "I win."
That's the next time I have sex, I'm going to pull out and say, "I win."
And then the sex, it didn't go. Nothing happens again. Either he came real quick, or the point was that I'm not going to come for you. Yeah. I don't know, but either way, that is the son imagining or coding.
I mean, I've always seen who came first in a sexual context as a competition, and I've always won that competition. But yeah, like it's bizarre, like. And again, like you're writing your mum to be like bruised and broken and
but also sexy.
Yeah, and calling your fucking stepdad daddy. Like you've conceived of that. You heard it in your real life that the stepdad calls, the stepdad has the mum call him daddy, which is disgusting and gross, and it's such a weird, like, that every time it's said, I was like, this is already fucking icky. The whole thing is fucking icky anyway. But like, it was just like, that's just an extra thing I didn't need in this.
Especially considering the line earlier on when she's sort of trying to re-seduce when Anne Hathaway's trying to re-seduce Baker.
I thought you were going to bring this up.
Their time together, and again, this is weird because they seem to like reflect on the idea that there's an age gap between them, but they also say they're at high school together. So again, I'm like, what? I don't get it, because then she says when they first slept together, he said to her, I was finally old enough. I mean, gross.
Yeah, that's like
Has
this is
he
what I
heard
mean
that
about
in the home?
the romanticized thing as well.
Yeah,
and maybe you know he
oh.
thinks the kid thinks that's romantic. That idea is romantic, but actually it's fucking creepy. Like we know how old McConaughey is, we know how old Anne Hathaway is.
Yeah, it's like a 13, 15
age gap.
Yeah.
So even then it's a bit odd. But like, yeah, just and there's so much of this, and again, like. Just the fact that a kid is writing this, you know, and I'm sure I've written some dirty shit when I was a young lad and teenager and stuff, and some crass stuff and some bad stuff. But it just seems like an autistic child wouldn't be able, or like as autistic as they present this child, which is kind of like, you know, high functioning, you know, super powered autistic child. Yeah. You know, I don't know if they would fully be able to connect all, like, because there's a lot of layers in like McConaughey and Anne Hathaway's relationship. Like, even I at this point at 38 still struggle to understand interpersonal relationships. So let alone, you know, as a 13-year-old child, the complexities of everything. That whole sex scene that they have is full of, you know, and again, I don't want to say it has levels and layers because it doesn't, but like if that happened in real life, there's
like seduction by her,
and then
he gives in for a second,
the power dynamics are playing,
changes, and he sees the wounds on her from absolutely,
and that's quite,
and then
complex. He wins. But that's
you're right. It is
a complex idea, even for me to kind of wrap my head around. And again, that's part of the wonderful part of acting, is that you can display that and present that, and again you can. But I think a lot of it is like he's almost like this is ambiguous enough, and you can make your own mind up. And I was like, but it's not like ambiguous enough where I feel like I want to, if you know what I mean. No. Like I can go, oh, this represents that, or that represents this, and oh, you know, all the kind of the film theory shit that people do, like, oh yeah, oranges. You see oranges in Godfather, it means death, and all this sort of shit. Yeah. Like. He wants people to do that with this, but it's not clever enough or ambiguous enough where you could find your way into those kind of cracks and crevices and look at every little detail and the layering and stuff. So
as you said, it's all on the nose. His fucking boat's called Serenity. There's an albatross that flies around. Do you know what I mean? Like, as you said, like where's the ambiguity? There's none. It's all just and you're coming back to that same idea, like coming back to Sixth Sense. You saying that oranges in Godfather again makes you think of like in Sixth Sense, the color red is a symbol of whenever there's a haunting, whenever there's something to do with a ghost, the color red isn't. But you don't know that when you first watch it.
Exactly.
It's only when you know and then you watch it back that those things make sense. But when you do this, and now you know the twist, I didn't know it. You did. So you go back and watch it. You start thinking like, oh, that's gross. Oh, that's creepy. Oh, that son keeps writing about his dad being naked. Oh, that son thinks sex is this, and it's definitely not. So
and he's talking about like prostitutes on the prostitutes on like the other like $10 like sex workers,
and you can do what you want to them.
You can do what you want to, and you can fuck them in the ass and all this sort of shit, whatever they're saying. I'm like, you know,
this is the Jason Clarke character.
You know, like don't get me wrong. I played GTA when I was a kid, you know, and like there's shit in that as well. But like there's a different. There's a different level to playing something and experiencing something than actually crafting, creating, and coming up with a world and fully realized characters, video game, you know, non-playable characters and playable characters, and then also effectively giving them life. You know, being a godlike creator is, you know, again, like even the best programmers in the world still are struggling with the idea of artificial intelligence. And, you know, and this can be a sci-fi film or whatever you want to fucking call it, but it's a halfway house of nothing. You know, it's pulling itself apart. It's going from one extreme to another, trying to be ambiguous, but being horrendously on the nose at the same time. And it just pulls itself apart, and it leaves you with nothing of just a vacuous fucking bloated mess of just fucking garbage. Like, just throw it in the sea. Just get fucking rid of it. And again, like, I struggled to get a copy of this because it's only available 2 places. I think is it Rakuten or Ratigan or whatever.
Yeah.
Or Sky, and I don't have Sky, so I've got to sign up for that fucking shit. Or I have to go out and buy the DVD. Thank fucking God I didn't buy the fucking DVD. I'd be burning it. I was like, I'm not one for destroying art, but I thought, fuck me, put it just burn it with fire. Just kill whatever this was. And like you said, like I will say this: it makes Mauritius look bloody lovely. I want to go. I want to go on holiday to Mauritius. But everything else I've read about this, there is nothing on the IMDb because nobody wants to fucking talk about this. Again, they cut the funding for the marketing because they didn't want to show it. Again, the screenings, nobody liked it. Big fucking surprise. And they didn't fucking change it. Then go, well, it's too late now. There's nothing we can do to improve this, which again is good or bad, depending on the film. But even the president of Mauritius was done for fucking embezzlement with the funds he got from this movie. Like nobody wants to talk about it, and I can see why. I can see why. It's not even fun to there's bad movie podcasts out there. I think How Did It Get Made did this.
They did,
and I've not listened to it, but I will be doing tomorrow because I wanted to get my feelings out on it before I heard anybody else's, because I had a lot of thoughts, no doubt. I think Caravan of Garbage, Weekly Planet have done it as well, and a few other places, but. There's I'm with Andy. He said this about the Star Wars holiday special. It was buried for a reason. I'll quote him. It was buried for a reason. I've already quoted him by saying "fuck you" movie, but I'll quote him again. This was buried for a reason. So it is in the depths with Jason Clarke's character. It's never fucking coming up. And when it does come up, fucking drown it again. Get it drowned.
Put some rocks in there, like.
Give it cement shoes. Do something. tie it to a fucking tuna or a shark. Send it to the depths where no one will fucking see it again. And I'm all about artistic expression, but there is nothing artistic about this.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Let's let's change gears a little bit.
Yeah. Sure.
I'm not going to say let's try and find something positive because I think we'd really struggle. But this is a McConaughey podcast, right? So let's talk about it.
Cool.
We have briefly, but. I think to begin with, he's back in kind of his Fool's Gold Sahara mode. It's a little bit playful.
Yeah.
He's back being buff again. Nice to see him buff.
Yeah, he's good shape.
Because obviously he's been through some kind of body changes for certain roles. He's getting back to that kind of classic McConaughey look again now. He's very wet.
Okay.
Always wet in this movie. Often wearing a white t-shirt or a white vest and very wet. And as I've mentioned a couple of times, very naked on quite a few occasions. We get a lot of McConaughey butt shots and a lot of swimming in the sea naked with very weird angles or CGI used to delete his penis, right? Because
absolutely, there's
some of those shots, his manhood should be on.
It would be, yes. You definitely see. You probably even see some bumhole, I'm sure, on some of these shots because he's proper. He's proper spreading his legs and stuff. You would see he'd be dropping serious bollock.
Unless of course his son didn't want to code his dad's dick, so he's just like an action man.
Yeah, he's like a Ken doll.
But then what's Diane Lane sucking? Yeah.
Oh dear. I mean, program the arse. He must like the arse at least. He's seen that. He knows what that looks like. I probably saw my dad's dick at that age, and it was not pretty. And I'll try and erase that memory. But I definitely fucking saw it. I know it exists. I spurt forth from it. But fuck me, they're really kind of they almost kind of like. I don't know, female gazy, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. And that's quite interesting in itself.
Yeah, I guess.
To have kind of to flip that script.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of that goes in Wild Things as well. Like Kevin Bacon in Wild Things is very kind of.
Oh, he loves getting fucking naked. Kevin Bacon, he's all about it. Getting his bacon out all the time. But there is quite a lot of nudity, there's quite a lot of kind of sex scenes. I mean, the Diane Lane ones are quite covered up. There's a lot of
she never shows any nudity at all.
No. I mean,
kind of the end. It's just like, oh, we finished.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Great. Good. I win.
Yeah.
But yeah, like she's a much more classic femme fatale as well for me.
Agreed. Yeah.
Than Anne Hathaway ever is. She's more like, again, it's not really a femme fatale. Really, it's
no.
I don't know what it is, but it's. I don't know, but yeah, McConaughey. I feel like it's by far not his best performance he gives.
No,
I think coming in, I thought he was going to be a bit more McConaughey-esque, but he's really fucking miserable in this, and I don't know if, again, like you said with that interview you were watching or the panels or whatever it was, where he's like not really saying much. I feel like once he got there, once he knew what he was doing, maybe he didn't even read the script. Maybe he just thought, what a great idea, what a great concept, and then got there and went, fuck, this isn't great, and has tried his best to do something with it. But like there's, I talk about like grounding as an actor, like feeling, feeling you're strong and you're steady and you know what you're doing, and the character you feel rooted to the ground. You feel confident with your performance, where you are, where the character is, and what you're delivering. And I don't think any of this is grounded. All the stuff when he's just kind of talking to himself, it just feels like he's just muttering to himself. He's a madman muttering to himself, but it's not interesting. It's not unique. It's just like, it's supposed to be like he's questioning reality, who he is, and the existential crisis of it all. But it just, there's nothing here. There's none of that McConaughey charm or talent or, there's nothing to grab you or bring you in. And this film really needs that. It really needs you to be grab you by the neck and go, listen, be involved, be invested, because we're going to take you on a ride. We're going to show you things, and we're going to turn your world upside down, quite literally. This very world we've established, we're going to turn upside down in less than an hour. So, hang on. But it's not there. And the it's just, I think he really needed to, I feel like he needed to say something. He needs to go, this isn't working. We need to do this. We need to change this. This needs to be a bit more. And I feel like we're at that point now where he's won his Oscar. He's done his peak. He's happy. He changed that paradigm. He shifted that paradigm. And now he's just doing it for money. He's just kind of I'm just going to do stuff because I know, like you said, like early on in his career, he was taking time out for 2 or 3 years and spending time with his family, going on holidays, going down the bloody, Amazon River or whatever he was doing, all that sort of shit. And I feel like this McConaughey would never do that. I feel like he's a different guy entirely almost. Yeah.
I mean, I wonder if this was like, bring the wife and the kids along. Let's be in Mauritius for a while.
Could be, Adam Sandler territory.
Yeah, it's a weird phase of his career, because only a couple of movies ago, when I did a couple of The Dark Tower with Scott, which obviously you won't have heard yet because it's not come out in terms of the release schedule, I said, like, I think it's the laziest performance of his career. It feels like he's just there. And it's
going through the motions.
And it's like his first kind of blockbuster. He chose that, which I didn't know until doing the research over Guardians 2. He could have been Ego, which would have been really cool.
That would have been interesting.
And he would have been really good in that role. Not as I'm repeating myself from 2 episodes ago. Not that Kurt Russell is not good.
No, cool.
I think McConaughey could have done something quite interesting with that role. I don't know, because then you've got in between these, you've got White Boy Rick, where he is trying and he's good, and he's back to that almost kind of Dallas Buyers Club, playing somebody from real life, trying to give some depth to it. There's a real kind of, and then he's doing a couple of animations which are fine, but they're kind of probably quite easy money compared to doing what he's doing in True Detective and Dallas Buyers Club and all these other roles. So it's such a strange phase of his career, this, and I don't think it's going to change for a while yet. It feels a little bit paychecky for a while, to be honest.
I think lazy is a good way to describe it. Like, just going through the motions. I'm going to do what they've asked me to do as best as I can do it without really trying. It's like you're at a job. You don't want to be working too hard that people are paying attention, but you also don't want to be doing your job so shit that people are paying attention. You want to just coast. You want to just comfortably just be there. Nobody's really paying that much attention to you. You're doing your job pretty well, but nobody's really like, got any eyes on you really, but you're doing just enough to get by without people kind of eyeballing you too much. And I think that is this film and this performance. It's even Tiptoes, he was probably trying a bit more. Like there was a bit more.
Yeah,
like there was like he was frustrated. I could see he was frustrated with the topic and the subject he had and the script he had, but he was really trying to find something in there. With this, he's just like mumbling, and he's just kind of he's a ghost of his former self, a ghost of girlfriends past.
Goodness, this is up there down there with that. Yeah, that's interesting because I was thinking like, what have we covered together? So I've got the list in front of me. So we started with The Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes,
so he was in
the Next Generation. Yeah,
or Next Generation. Yeah, we covered him in Lone Star.
Yeah,
obviously a smaller role, but
good.
We watched Ed TV, Tiptoes, Killer Joe, and now this.
Yeah. Killer Joe is definitely the best out of the bunch, I'd say.
Yeah.
That we've done. Ed TV, I don't look too badly back on Ed TV. It had its problems, but I thought it was fine. I didn't really hate it. No. And Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I think he's the best part of it. But yeah, this for me is, I haven't watched all the films you've watched, of course, but of the ones we've done, I think this is the bottom of the barrel for me.
That's considering we have covered Tiptoes.
That is, and I hated Tiptoes. I was offended by Tiptoes.
Yeah,
more so than I was offended by this, but. I still think this is like even within that, there's still some funny, odd, weird things that you could show somebody to laugh at and just be like, "Do you ever see this fucking movie?" If I showed someone a clip of this, they'd go, "What is this shit?" Turn it off. They wouldn't laugh. They wouldn't be interested. They wouldn't be entertained. It's just like, just turn that shit off.
What is this shit Truman Show? What is this Anti-Matrix? What is this? Yeah. Is this the worst episode of Black Mirror they've ever made?
Yeah, Shit-tron. Whatever version of whatever thing where it's like, oh, it's not the real world or whatever it is. It's not this.
At times, what I really want, Dark City. Jumped into my head a couple of times. So I think, fuck, that film's so good, and it takes chances, and it's not perfect, but it really swings, and it's so intriguing to watch and has so much to say. And
people are still talking about that. People are still talking about Dark City with real, I think it got a 4K or Blu-ray recently. I think it was Arrow or somebody did it, and people still talk about that with high praise.
And that's a sci-fi noir, which I guess we're saying this is. Yeah,
sure. But again, that has something to say. It knows what it is. This is just pretentious wank. And it's not in a good way. Like they poured too much money into a piece of shit. It's just awful. Just like 10 pounds of shit in a £2 bag. It's just fucking garbage. I'd love to say that it was interesting. It had unique. I'm always trying to find the good.
You do. Yeah,
in any film. I'm not a negative person. Even the worst shit I've seen, I go, oh, that was good. Oh, I like the cinematography, But even the cinematography in this, I was like, it's weird. It's not. It's like it's overly glossy and
Agreed.
and I'm like, this is a noir. This is supposed to be supposedly a noir. But then again, you could go, well, the kid likes good-looking islands and hot beaches and blue oceans and sharks and shit. Yeah, you could. I'm sure people will fucking argue about it till if someone ever comes to me and says this is my favorite film, I'm going to tell them to get fucked. I'm going to go get the fuck. If you come out, I just know you're going to be some pretentious little fucking crab of a person if you like this. I'm just like, I really would judge somebody if they came up to me and said this is my favorite film of all time. I would be like, I don't want to be with you. I don't want to be next to you. I don't want to speak to you. I seriously hate this, and there is no artistic merit at all in any of this. And that, I think that's what frustrated me the most is just how just again, I've said it till I'm blue in the face, but it's just horrid. It's just horrid on every level, and I'm exhausted talking about it. It's frustrating. I'm like shaking with rage. I've truly become Angry Andy at this point, and I honestly think if somebody convinced him to watch this, if he was here in my place, he would have far stronger opinion than I have, and I've got a pretty fucking strong opinion. I'd love to hear what he said. I would never tell him to watch it. I would never go, not even for a joke, not even for like, oh, this will piss you off, this will be funny, or why don't you check out this new film I hear is shit. I wouldn't even recommend this to my worst enemy. That's how bad this film is.
Don't hold back. So
hold back.
I'll read some letterbox in a minute, and maybe I found somebody that likes this film, Dan.
Oh,
and I'll give you their contact details after the show to get in touch with.
Can you do a dislike on Letterboxd? Can we? Is that possible to do dislikes?
Sadly, you can't, can you? But you can send them a direct comment if you'd like.
I don't want to know you. Don't ever want to know you. Don't ever want to know you. Thank you. Goodbye.
I know you said
I'm blocking you right now.
You looked at some of the negative reviews as well, and loads of them mention the same kind of sequence of films. I just wondered if you've seen any of these, and if not, like whether you would dare to watch them.
God.
So, yeah, exactly. If they're comparative to this. So Collateral Beauty.
Is that the Will Smith one?
Will Smith and Keira Knightley's in it.
I think I know. I think I know about that and what it's kind of about. But
see, again, I've never seen that.
I won't spoil it. But yeah, I hear it's a bit pretentious.
The Book of Henry.
I've not seen it. I'm not entirely sure what it's about, but I hear bad things. Wasn't it the director of Jurassic World and? Yeah, they were supposed to do Star Wars: Last Jedi, and they had to
he got canned because of how bad the Book of Henry was. Yeah,
Christ, it must be.
I think
it must be bad.
Yeah, and Life Itself was the other one that was mentioned in the same breath as this, which I have. So that's the only one of the three I've seen. That's got like Oscar Isaac, Olivia Wilde, Olivia Cook. I watched it because I really like Olivia Cook. She's a great actress.
Right. Okay.
But it was not good. That was kind of a metaphysical. How does life connect across generations type story? So I can kind of see where there might be a connection there. Yeah. And it gives me a sense of what these other two films might have going on.
Yeah. I when I went on the Wikipedia page, there was another film that it was like, this has got a similar premise. And I was like, oh, does it now? But yeah, if you go on the Wikipedia page, you can see it, but kind of might spoil the film if I mention it here. So I won't. But again, that had apparently a troubled production as well, so that might not have helped. But a similar premise, apparently.
I think the true winner of this is obviously the person who, I'm sure you've read this as well, ended up not being in the film. They had to drop out, which is Uma Thurman.
Oh God, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she wins. She wins. She's the one.
It's not McConaughey who wins for pulling out early. It's Uma Thurman for pulling out early. That's the only winner here.
Oh fuck! That you win for making that joke. That's the best one. That you win the podcast today. Oh fucking hell! Oh, my head hurts now. I'm laughing that hard. Oh yes, yeah. She wins, and Diane Lane took her place. And she can do camping. Oh. She can do femme fatale. She can do that. She's got that within her, and I can see why they would cast her in this. But yeah, like. She looked out. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe she finally saw the script. She was like, "Oh no.
Oh, I've realised it's clashing with this. I've got a dentist.
Oh God, yeah. I think I'm doing that Fortnite Kill Bill thing. Or whatever that was, whatever the fuck that was. Anyway, but yeah, move it on
because QT's on the phone.
Yeah, he wants me to do another film. No, I'm having a divorce. I'm going through a divorce at the moment. Whatever, Maya Hawke's got. Is that you, Maya? Oh,
yeah.
Don't worry, I'm coming. Yeah. Oh God, let's get to these good reviews. Apparently,
well, I'll read one. I'll start with the bad.
Okay, cool.
I'll warm you up to
please do.
Yeah,
and then I can get really fuming.
Yeah. Okay. So Matt Singer says, I knew the twist and it was still 1,000 times more banana pants crazy than I expected. Truly a Hall of Fame what the fuck movie. It's inconceivable that anyone thought this idea would work, much less the dozens of people who had to think that in order to make this thing into that. Cool, let me say it again. Much less the dozens of people who had to think that in order to make this thing into a reality. Also, McConaughey shows his butt so much that we are now officially in the McCon-essence.
Oh, nice.
I like that. Yeah,
that's good. What was that score? What for that one?
1 star.
1 star. Fair. Yeah, I gave it half a star. So we're in the right realm. But yeah,
you were especially brutal.
Yeah. I think I went back and changed it, but I paraphrased. I think what I said at the start of the podcast is now my official review. But initially, it was "Get fucked, film. Just get fucked." That was my initial review, and I changed it. So it's something less, a little more clever, a little bit more, a little bit more literary, a little bit more, pretentious, a little bit more pretentious.
You brought yourself up to this film's level.
Oh Christ, yeah. But no, I'm happy with that review. That makes a lot of sense to me.
Okay, I'm not going to read all of this one because it's really long, but there's a couple of... I'll read the start and the end because I think it's got some funny stuff in it.
Okay.
So Jay says, okay, hear me out. These 5 stars are because this movie is so bad and also so amazing. Old Man and the Sea, but make it sexy. Like a trashy novel I read on the beach in one sitting because it's so fun, then I forget I ever read it. Kind of wonderful. It was a blip in your life, but you still enjoyed it. It makes 0 sense, but don't tell me it wasn't so fun watching Matthew McConaughey be so wet and Anne Hathaway deliver every line like she just ran a marathon. You cannot tell me the acting is bad because they are literally playing characters envisioned by a 13-year-old, so the acting is spot on. Then there's a lot. I'm going to skip it all.
Yeah. Please do.
Yeah. I don't care what your opinion of this movie is. It's wrong. This will be a midnight movie cult classic for years to come.
It really fucking won't. It really won't. It's not like Showgirls,
Right, yeah.
It's not that high camp, where you can enjoy it ironically. It's just bad. There's no. It's bad. It's not bad so bad it's good. It's just bad.
I agree. It's not so bad. It's Serenity. It's just so bad. It's bad.
Oh gosh. I was when I initially came on. I think it was thinking about coming on. I thought, I'll make a joke like I've watched the wrong film, like I've watched Firefly's Serenity. I was like, no, I've watched the wrong one. But I was so mad. I was like, I don't want to even give good jokes or bad references. I don't even want to play act. I'm like, Andy, I'm coming in hard and hot, and I'm going to fucking win. I wish maybe I should have pulled out of this podcast. That's what then I would have won.
You would have done.
But yeah, I was like, it's just, I just can't be asked even joking. I was just like, I'm too mad. I'm too furious about this film. Still frustrated by it. But yeah, that I couldn't disagree with that review more. This will not be a cult classic. This is not fun. This is not entertaining. Yes, if I had like 10 rounds of beers, then maybe I could find some fun in it. But it's not crazy or wild or weird enough where it could be that. It can't be Showgirls. It never will be Showgirls, and I don't particularly love Showgirls, but it's entertaining and it's iconic in its own way. But this will never be. This will be. It will pop up every now and again. It'll bob up for air, and then it will just sink even lower when it does. Yeah. That's exactly what this film and the destiny of this film. It will be, 20,000 depths. Keep it 20,000 leagues away from me. I don't want to ever see this. I don't want it to darken my doorstep ever again.
Nobody will be picking this for a film festival anytime soon.
Fuck no. And if they do, again, I do not want to know you. I don't want to know this person. I don't want to know. I definitely don't want to know the next reviewer. If this is a good review or a positive review, I definitely don't want to know you.
I think I'm just going to stop there. I think we've tortured you enough.
No, do it. I want to hear this other review. I want to hear.
You want to hear another one?
Yeah, okay. Come on. Let's just do it. Let's do it.
See what else we've got.
And then I can finally put it to bed. I can put it to rest, and we'll never speak of this again ever.
Yeah. All right. Let's go for Steak Chalupa. They say, very dumb. Feels like a movie M. Night Shyamalan wishes he could have made. But somehow it ends up being pretty heartfelt near the end. I love a bad movie that takes itself completely serious and has a melodramatic as fuck score that make the emotional moments feel hilarious. If you watch this because you're in the mood to laugh, like I was, then I guarantee you'll love it. And McConaughey puts on a great performance I can't even front. Side note, if Nick Cage was the lead in this, it might have been the best movie of all time.
And quote myself again, you can get fucked. You can absolutely get fucked. That, like, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but these opinions are fucking horrible. Horrible, like the film. Like, how can you find the fun in this? I can't find it. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. I can't ever see myself on any point, even if I watch this 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 4 years from now, I am not going to enjoy. I didn't enjoy this from minute one. Mm-hmm. I didn't enjoy this. I didn't even it was just everything about it. Just from minute one, it was a fucking slog. And I think you messaged me and I was 15 minutes in and I was like, fuck me, there's an hour and a half of this. And I was like, I was glad there was only an hour and 45. I thought it was long. I thought it'd be 2 hours, like minimum. I was glad it was shorter, but it still felt like 2 hours. But yeah, no, I'm being very judgmental of people, and I'm very judgmental of this film. But you haven't experienced what I've experienced until you watch it. And I'm not even gonna, like, if you listen to this and think, "Oh, Dan really hated this. I've got to see it." Don't. Yeah, just don't do it to yourself. Like, it's torture. It's not fun. You will curse me for even bringing it up. But they'll curse you, Jack, for bringing this to their attention. Yeah. Like, don't. Just take the podcast as it is. Just enjoy this for what it's been. Don't do it to yourself, please. I beg you, don't do it.
Fair, and it's a safe bet you won't have to watch this again because I've got to get through a lot of actors before I get to the Anne Hathaway filmography. So you're pretty safe. Don't worry.
I'm not. If you do Anne Hathaway, you can get fucked too. I'm not doing this again. You can get Andy on. I'd love to hear his opinion. Yeah. But I'm not going to force him to do it. You should force him to do it if you do Anne Hathaway. Not that you would pick Anne Hathaway anyway, from the sounds of it.
Beige again.
Lovely beige. Lovely beige.
So, I don't know if you remember how this podcast ends. Of course you do, because you're a regular visitor and a loyal listener. But we normally ask whether you think
three options.
This is a classic, worth catching, or I think the last one is completist only within the actor's back catalogue. What do you think?
I mean, if I remember rightly, I didn't even put Tiptoes in completist only.
I don't think you did. I think you said
I think I was like, to be there. Yeah. So if I think maybe Tiptoes has gone up to completist only, perhaps. Maybe I'm budging it up. It's been lifted. The bar has been lifted. Like Serenity's dropped the bar, but Tiptoes has gone up. Its buoyancy has increased. So I'm going to say this is lower than complete. I would. Even if you are watching the complete filmography of Anne Hathaway, Honshu, anybody else, Jason Clarke, whoever else is in this film, don't do it for any of them. Like, don't bother for any of them. Seriously. Again, I've not kept my cards close to my chest on this one, but yeah, just honestly, do not do it. It's not Matthew McConaughey's. Like, I mean, you've seen some Matthew McConaughey films that are shit, and you've gone through, you've slogged through quite a lot. But for the ones I've done, this is again bottom of the barrel for me. So yeah, but even not even completers only. If you're a fan of Matthew McConaughey, you don't want to see him in this. You don't want to see him like this. It's not one of his best performances. He gives better performances elsewhere of a similar variety. Watch Killer Joe. Watch Killer Joe instead. Like, that's a much better performance, much better film. And has this noir aesthetic and is successful with that noir aesthetic. And again, has some humor to it. There is some lines and stuff that I laughed at. There is some black comedy in there, which again, if you think that film is bad and the campness in that, fair enough. I get it. I can get on board, but I quite enjoyed it for what it is. But yeah, classic, absolute classic. 5 stars with a like. Yeah,
Imagine that as like a switcheroo at the end of like, ha!
Nice. I loved it. I thought I got Tony with our Speed Racer review, but I think he knew. I think he knew that I liked it.
Listen, I hear tell when you used to tread the boards, you were a very fine actor. I don't think you're quite that good.
No, I'm not. I'm really not. I was not even that good. I was not even that good when I did it. But yeah, no, no, I can't not recommend this enough. I'd watch Necromantic and Necromantic 2 again over this, or any of the films I've recommended to Chris and Dave to do. Yeah. I would. Yeah, I'd watch those films. I'd watch The Italian Stallion, I think, over this, because even I get to see Stallone's bollocks. Didn't see any bollocks in this, so that's a down vote for me. So yeah, but yeah, no.
Release McConaughey's dong.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is uncategorizable. There's no place I can put it lower than it's not even completist only. It's not compulsory viewing in any form. So yeah, don't bother. Don't do it to yourself, because you'll hate yourself. You will hate yourself for it, because I kind of hate myself for watching it. I kind of do.
But I love you for it.
Yes. Well, I you know me. I've taken a few bullets, I think, for a lot of your guests. I think in this long term, not all of them. I will admit, I've not taken all the bullets, but I think I've taken a fair few, and I don't mind. I don't mind doing that. I'm not going, oh, I want to do Interstellar. I'm like, no, give me what's left. What's fucking left? I'll do Serenity.
And is Operation Human Shield. Let's go.
Exactly. Yeah. Put him forth. But yeah, so this time it's really not worked out for me, but yeah, no. But I have enjoyed this has been my therapy session. I've gotten all my feelings out about it, so I'm gonna sleep well tonight, because you've helped me manage those feelings. So I do appreciate you. Again, putting me through this trauma, but then also relieving the trauma as well.
Okay, so you do win in the end.
Yeah. Absolutely, and lose at the same time.
Sadly. Now that is a metaphor for life. Real life, not AI life.
This if only watching this film was a fucking simulation.
Yeah, right. Although turn it off.
Yeah, exactly. Just pull the plug.
Standby. Yeah. So it is a little while till this comes out. I'm recording ahead of time. So this will be July. This will be coming out.
Okay, cool.
What's going on in the world of Spider-Dan at that point?
July.
What has come out in the interim that you want to talk about?
So we will have done. So all of the Forbidden World stuff is currently coming out at the moment. So go and check that out on my feed and on the feed of Genuine Chit Chat. We're alternating. So go check that. If you want the whole experience, you have to go to both feeds. And then me and Ria and Tonya are going to compare in another Clone Wars from Dusk Till Dawn and Sinners, which I'm really looking forward to. So the Patreons like yourself voted in my favor. Of course they did, because I'm the guy with the best ideas and the best suggestions. And then I've not got, I think, have I got one for July? I'm not remembering one for July at the moment. I think there is one there, but I can't think of what it is. Maybe I'll just quickly look it up. I'm sure I've got it here somewhere. Where are we? July. So no, it's not. It's yet to be announced. So my guest is yet to decide on what they want to do. But I've got a guest in place, and it's a guest I haven't had on before. So a bit of new blood. It's an old friend, but a bit of new blood. So that'll be interesting from my acting days as well. So that'll be good. They've not decided on what they want to do yet. But I will get back to them shortly. I've given them all the formats. And then in August, I am going to drop my noir month. So this will kind of, maybe this can be a run up in a sense to that. But we're going to be looking at some good stuff. Don't worry, we're looking at some good shit. One with yourself as well. They've already been decided. So we're doing Mildred Pierce, which I've already recorded with Ria. We're going to do Spider-Man Noir, the first 2 miniseries. And then I've got Hoodlum with Tonya. And then me and Andy and Paul are going to do all the 3 versions of the Maltese Falcon. So we're going to compare all of them, which is I think it's 1931, Satan Met a Lady, and then I want to say 1940, perhaps. I think the Humphrey Bogart one. But I could be getting the dates wrong. But that is going to be the noir month, so I'm recording that ahead of time again, much like yourself, just so they're all ready and raring to go. And I'll drop that in August, so there'll be one a week in August, and my patrons will get them early once I finished editing them, and then we'll get that, and that'll give me a little bit of breathing room for other stuff coming up. And I'm currently working on Shock Phobia Fest as well, and there'll be some other stuff no doubt within the year. But busy bee.
Another big anniversary coming up, of course.
Yes, so we will be doing our 300th episode, but I won't say what we're doing just yet. But it's relevant. It's relevant to not only the title of the podcast, but also the introduction of the podcast. Nice. So the intro is referenced. So, but yes, it's going to be a good one. And then 2028 is the anniversary, the 10-year anniversary of Spider-Man: The Secret Wars. Okay. How crazy. Yeah, so not far away. So I've got another idea for that, an anniversary episode for that, so which may include yourself, I think it may include yourself.
I always have time for you, you know that.
Yeah, but I think we'll bring somebody else, because the topic is something another one of my guests really wants to talk about, so I think I might bring somebody else in, but that's a long way away yet. But it'll come up fast. It'll come up faster than I think as well, and I'll be like, oh, go on, better get it done. But that'll be November of 2028.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah, that's crazy. But but thank you for having me on. I've been enjoying this particular filmography. Not today, definitely not today. But the journey, I listen every week. It's the one I manage to keep up with most of the time as podcasts go. I'm always trying to keep up with all of them. So many good stuff that all of our friends are doing. But yeah, this is the one I managed to just about keep up with.
Oh, I appreciate you for that.
Yeah,
and for putting yourself through this.
Yeah.
You know it.
Sunken toxic waste. Okay.
Yeah.
Put it in a trench somewhere and hope it never pops up. Put it in the abyss. Let it fall into the abyss.
This is references to other podcasts you've done. It's so smart. You know, this is where you need to write Serenity too.
Should I do a John Borman that I hated the first film so much I want to do the sequel? I'll do that.
Do it. Yeah, 100%. I love that idea.
I can make it better somehow. I can do it. Oh,
I mean,
God.
You definitely can.
I could. I wouldn't have to try very hard. But I think I could make something of it. Absolutely. But yes, no. Thanks, I guess, for having me on.
Anytime. I just, work out what the next worst film is I've got coming up, and I'll reach out again.
Yeah, exactly. Let me torture you with something. I'll find something for you to do.
Well deserved.
We'll get something. We'll find something. Yeah, we'll work something out. Yeah. Andy's not going to get the worst one now. It's going to be. You've gotten too many good ones. I think you've been doing pretty well with all the nice ones. So I've got to give you some shit to gobble on.
Woo. Dan came in hot and ground this film into chum. Worse than Tiptoes. Yep, you heard him right. I can only apologise for what I made him endure and thank him for talking out the trash with me. Thankfully, time with him is always well spent, even when the film itself is a waste. My thanks to you two listeners for your continued support, engagement and participation as we journey through the final act of the McConaughey. That was Serenity. Next up in a fortnight, I'm going to be joined by Mike Burton to discuss Eminem's performance as Moondog in Harmony Korine's The Beach Bum, for those that are watching along. Until next time, be excellent to each other and make sure you take the time to treat yourself too. I am Jack signing off. Yippee-ki-yay, movie lovers.
You just gotta keep living, man. Livin.
Cut.
And that is where I'm going to cut. You know, that's going to be the end of the recording. None of this little bit after. It's going to be shit to gobble on, hard out.
Please do it. Please cut it.